This is Shahr-e Zuhak, the Red City, a city that once stood proud, a fortress that refused to surrender, and a story the mountains still whisper. Shahr-e Zuhak rises dramatically at the entrance of Bamiyan Valley, perched on a sharp rocky hill where two rivers meet. From a distance, its cliffs glow deep red under the sun, as if the earth itself remembers what happened here. Historians believe this fortress dates back over 1,000 years, built during the Ghorid or pre-Islamic era, and later expanded as a military stronghold. It was not just a city, it was a gatekeeper. Anyone who wished to enter Bamiyan had to pass beneath its watchful walls, and for centuries, no enemy could break it. But history is not always kind to the brave. In the early 13th century, the world trembled under the thunder of the Mongol invasion. Genghis Khan, a name that turned cities into ashes, marched toward Bamiyan. Shahr-e Zuhak stood in his way. The defenders knew they were outnumbered. They knew help would never come. Yet, they chose to fight. Day after day, the Red City resisted. Arrows rained from its towers. Stones rolled down its cliffs. The Mongols were held back longer than expected, until tragedy struck. During the siege, Mutugan, the beloved grandson of Genghis Khan, was killed, according to legend, by an arrow fired from the walls of Shahr-e Zuhak. That moment sealed the city's fate. Pause, slower voice, and rage beyond mercy, Genghis Khan ordered total destruction. No forgiveness, no survivors. The Mongol army stormed the fortress with unstoppable fury. The walls fell, the defenders were slaughtered, and the city was burned until the rocks themselves turned red. From that day on, it became known as Shahr-e Zuhak, the Red City, a city colored not just by stone, but by sacrifice. Today, only ruins remain. Broken towers cling to the cliffs. Collapsed walls stretch like scars across the hilltop. Yet even in silence, the city feels alive. When the wind passes through the ruins, it sounds like distant voices, echoes of warriors who refuse to bow. Stand there at sunset, and the fortress glows crimson once again, as if history briefly returns. Shahr-e Zuhak is not just a ruin, it is a symbol of resistance, of courage against impossible odds, of Afghanistan's deep and powerful history, often forgotten but never erased. Long before modern borders, before wars filled the headlines, this land was home to civilizations, engineers, poets, and fearless defenders. And Shahr-e Zuhak was one of their strongest hearts. If these walls could speak, they would not ask for pity. They would ask to be remembered. Remembered not as a city that fell, but as a city that stood until the very end. So the next time you hear the name Bamiyan, remember there is more than peaceful valleys and famous Buddhas. There is also a Red City, silent, broken, but undefeated in spirit. This is Shahr-e Zuhak, the lost fortress of Afghanistan. Soft pause, and its story still lives.
This is all business, right? Everything